Oakland Raiders fan groups say NFL owners reject Las Vegas. This is Wednesday night live stream. Zinni Abraham, Zinni62 Media, Zinni62blog.com, and Zinni62 on YouTube. And I'm going to go right now about the task of setting up the meta tags. Hey John, how are you? Hey everybody, how you doing? Got a lot of news, so I'm going to get right to the process. How you all doing of putting the meta tags in and setting up this live stream appropriately and tweeting out so it can be found? So got a lot going on here, and yeah, that title is correct. But I'm going to live stream is good. That's good. That's excellent. So I can go to the watch page and begin to tweet this out. Hello, sir. Hello, Robos. Bill McKinley, how are you? I will get to it. I will get to it. And I will also mute myself. There. Not from you, but from the feedback that I was getting. Now, you know how this works. I've got to take the proper words and put them in so that this is searchable. All right? Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to read to you a press release I just got that is quite exciting. And we're going to, as the Squire of Gothos from Star Trek would say, have at it again. That's right. Someone's watching The Empire while I watch this. That's what Empire it is on. Well, hopefully I can be at least maybe a percentage as entertaining as Empire. I'll have to keep that in mind. Empire is a great show, great program, and I would love to watch it if I can. But right now I'm doing this because, hey, look, this is for the viewers and the fans and everything else. So I'm really excited to do this and prove that to myself that by setting these meta tags and talking to you at the same time, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. Yeah, I did say that. Now, today's Wednesday. The NFL owners meeting is technically next week, although I talked to a friend of mine who's going in Saturday. I was going to go in early Monday morning. I might push it to early Sunday. We'll see how that works. The owners will start right off the bat, as I reported yesterday, I believe, with Vegas on the agenda. I'm told 8:30 in the morning. So we could have a decision by the middle of the day as to what to do, either to table it or no, or let them go to Vegas. Now, before I get to that, let me announce to you what the latest is regarding the Oakland Raiders fan groups. We're saying the NFL owners reject Las Vegas. All right? That's the news. And let me read to you the press release that's going out and around and the news that you're going to be hearing soon. So we're PR Newswire. It was sent to me by PR great Sam Singer and Jim Zielinski as well. And Zielinski originated it. Mr. Singer sent it to me. Now, Oakland Raiders fan coalition mobilize other fans to urge owners to reject team's move to Las Vegas. News provided by Save Oakland Sports, May 22nd, 2017, and it goes like this. I would turn around and show it to you. It's like, and I will talk about the Mercury News article as well. Yes, I will do that. Let me read this real quick, and then I'll get to your question. So, hey, everybody, hold off on your questions until I read this, and then let's get to the question. Okay, so just time out, and I'll get through this, and then we'll get to your questions because they're gonna start flying by. Okay, all right, all right. I'll explain LV9993 in one moment. Okay, now, Oakland Raiders fan and community groups are continuing their effort to mobilize fans of all 32 National Football League teams to urge owners to keep the team in Oakland, where it has greatly benefited from legendary loyalty and support for more than 4 decades. A coalition of fan groups including Save Oakland Sports, the Oakland Raiders Booster Club, Stay in Oakland, the Oakland Economic Impact and Legal Action Committee. Hey, sorry about that, everybody. I got a call. When mom calls, I had to take the call. I'm sorry. So when that was what was happening there, I apologize. That's what happened. I am back, and that's what happened. So there. I mean, normally that's what happened. All right. So I'm gonna retweet this out to say that I'm out there because I was in the middle of explaining the Flan Coalition thing. Sorry about that, but again, I just had to take that call because she's back in Georgia. I'm here. She's by herself there, and it's midnight, so I didn't know what was going on. I was like, gee. And I told her I was going to be doing my live stream, so I thought it was an emergency. Turns out there's not an emergency, okay? So there you go, all right? Now, I'm back. Okay. I'm sending out these tweets as well because I have to make sure that folks know that we're here and also put it on Facebook. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get back to what I was reading you before. Okay. And, okay. Oakland Raiders live stream on now. Hashtag Raiders. Hashtag Oakland. Oakland. Hashtag NFL. NFL. Hashtag sports. Cool. And post to Facebook, and there we go. All right, now. Okay, now let's back to what I was reading you. And again, my apologies, but mom calls, you gotta take the call. When your mother calls, you take the call. Okay? Now, thank you. Hey, the shirt is dope. I've had this for years, So anyway, basically, I talked about the coalition of fan groups, and I'll get to your questions and comments in a second. Frosty, hold off on that thought. Repost it later, but let me finish this, okay? A coalition of fan groups are sending a letter to the editor of newspapers, okay, to all newspapers and 32 NFL in the markets with a request for the fan support. The letter builds upon the coalition's ongoing effort to ask all fans to email or call their respective ownership groups to vote no on the Raiders' attempt to abandon Oakland for the second time. In addition, fans across the United States can also sign a petition against the move. There's a link that you can sign if you go. I've already tweeted it out. I'm going to tweet this out one more time. I'm tweeting it out right now. So you can go to Zenny62 and look for Oakland Raiders Fan Coalition's Mobilize. It's tweeted out right now, and you can see that. All right, now that's out, and it has a lot of quotes from people about the meetings and the fan base and how the Raiders fans are showing their unrelenting support and everything else. So that is that piece of news. All right, so now let me continue and talk more. I'm going to be critical of the city of Oakland's effort. Let me explain. First of all, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, that if the owners allow the Raiders to move to Vegas, I will chuckle. Because I got off the phone with a friend of mine that I've known and been acquainted with, not like buddy by any means, but I've interviewed him before. His name is Mark Gannis. And Mark Gannis is the father of the PSL. He created the modern personal seat license in 1994-95, and that was used by the Rams when they built their stadium in St. Louis, and it was used in the Raiders' case in the refurbished Coliseum that returned the Raiders from LA to Oakland. Okay, now Mark is the kind of guy that when he talks about what the owners are going to do, he always comes off with what the critical conventional wisdom is, okay? And it's almost like he's one of the media trying to, and he does, Mark is a consistent, frequent guest of the NFL. So Mark preaches the NFL line. That's why he's been able to build his company to success. That's why he always walks around the NFL owners meetings with a special guest tag on and all that. And so here's the thing, okay? Now he says that the NFL doesn't want to leave Oakland, but they haven't seen anything in the way of an alternative here. Even though I say, look, Oakland has a plan, but he says the owners haven't seen the plan. And I know that Fortress is working that, but here's the other problem. And it's fundamentally rooted in basically how, and the NFL is trying to work this out with Fortress and the city, but the problem is in how, from, this is Mark's perspective, okay? I'm explaining what Mark says, and I'll give you my view, okay? But Mark's point is that it goes back to the other mouth to feed thing, okay? And he says that Fortress is an organization that has a profit motive as opposed to a city. But the problem that exists right now is that, very quite simply, there's no city in California that wants to spend money on an NFL edifice to the degree that Mark Davis wants. Or that, for that matter, for the degree to which Dean Spanos wants in Los Angeles, or in San Diego, which is caused him to leave for Los Angeles. So more money has to be spent by the NFL in the future, all right? The idea is that basically he says that the, and I'll get to Fortress in a second, but I'm explaining to you Mark's view. I'm not saying Mark's view is gospel, and I'll explain why after I get to Mark's view, because people are going to run off with Mark's view and they're not going to listen. So listen, because it's really important. I'm giving you a rare 2 points of view from people who attend a bunch of NFL owners meetings and know each other, all right? So he's not on the live stream here, but I'm giving you a flavor for what he's thinking so that you'll understand in full. Because the owner has a profit motive, it takes a percentage, right? And he says that's the problem. Now, here's where things get weird, all right? Here's where things get weird. Because in our conversation, I said to him, well, Sheldon Adelson was putting in like 1.2 billion in all the cost overruns, and he wanted a percentage. So how is Adelson not a mouth to feed, right? And Fortress is a mouth to feed. You see what I'm getting at? That's where things don't make any sense. And then I said to him, all right. So when I mentioned Adelson, this is what he says. He says, well, they wouldn't have worked with Adelson. Why? Well, because of the casino and other stuff. Okay, other stuff. I know about the other stuff, all right? But the bottom line is, Roger Goodell said, all right? Roger Goodell said this, that the owners would have an issue with a partnership such that the casinos were basically building the stadium, even if they weren't owning the team. Remember, he said that. So if you take a look at the $1 billion cost overrun that I pointed out, the Raiders have to find someone to help out with that. They can't just debt themselves to death. Yes, I did say that, right? So, they can't just debt themselves to death. So, when I introduced Adelson, he goes, well, it wouldn't work with him. And I said, but he's another mouth to feed. And I got no response. I said, he's another mouth to feed, okay? So what I'm giving you is that's an introduction to the NFL party line. Its pros and its cons. You see what I'm getting at? The last time I heard Mark talk in this situation, it was about Carson. And we were in Houston, and he told all the other press people, the votes are lined up for Bob Iger to get what he wants, and the Chargers and the Raiders are going to go to Carson. And he was wrong. Kroenke won. Okay? So my point is that because Mark says it the way he does, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen for the reasons I explained. There's still those dark areas regarding casino gambling that exist. And the feeling among some is, okay, look, if I let you go to Vegas, then you're still dealing with the same casino people that we really aren't comfortable with you dealing with. All right? All right? Yeah, and see, I think now I can get 2 points. Now, Frosty the Snowman said that Adelson wanted some control. He didn't want control. He did talk about percentage ownership, all right? But Adelson was content to be in a position where he was, in exchange for this $650 million investment, getting some money back by a percentage. That is why he got angry, very angry, when he was in the position of being put out of a deal because he wasn't able to negotiate with the lease. The lease didn't mention him. So he thought, oh, you're cutting me out, okay? You're cutting me out, all right? So now that he would be brought back, so technically, allowing the Raiders to go in Las Vegas without Adelson is a cosmetic window dressing. And so once he gets there, he can deal with whoever he wants to. The trouble is that whoever he wants to deal with is going to provide money, but it's going to be with a hook. They're going to want something back. And so therein lay the whole other mouth to feed syndrome, and that's why I feel Mark is wrong. Because I said to Mark, hey, how can you explain the deficit? Now, this is where Mark's an honest guy, okay? He said, look, I don't know the numbers for Vegas. I haven't done them. He said he's seen projections. Well, I said, well, I took those projections that you've seen, created a new spreadsheet model based on the SNTIC model, and put the $450 million off-site transportation cost in it, and the $676 million Bank of America debt, and I came up with the deficit numbers I told you about. First, with the existing debt that came to a negative $517 million in stadium cash flow, and then a total negative of $964 million for project cash flow. That's negative. That's almost $1 billion. Mark did not know about that. I said to Mark, how is he going to cover that up? And his statement was, and this is where you can see where the media is being guided by their thinking, because a lot of media call him. His statement was, oh, well, I would assume that they haven't got this far, they haven't thought that through. Whereas I think differently. And that's where Mark and I differ, although I like Mark a lot. That's where Mark and I differ. But I understand Mark's political position. He's trying to maintain his status as an NFL honored guest. He does business with the owners. He does. He's got some of the owners to invest in his forays in China. Okay? So, all right. So that's the current. I'm giving you the standard NFL party line from Mark Davis. That's where that Mark Gannis. That's where that is. Now, I'll take your questions. Okay. Now, here we go. Let's see here. Oh boy, let's see here. I'm trying to get to some questions here. LX9933. Can anyone tell me if Vegas has been rejected? Has Zinni revealed it? LX993. Vegas hasn't been rejected or accepted. What we've got is a very dicey situation leading to the owners' meeting. All right. Now, what Mark said regarding the owners not seeing the Oakland plan is correct. Now, also, there was, from his standpoint, this confusion about the land. And I believe that's being worked out behind the scenes to a point where I believe we'll see a surprise sometime before the meeting. Now, I will say that here's where I'm very, very critical of the city and why, and I will say this bluntly, I should have been put in charge of it, but I'm not, and I've done a lot of stuff on my own, and I've helped in other ways with a lot of people. So, but we needed a website, and we still need a website that shows our plan. There's no home to go to like Oakland Raiders Stadium plan. Boom. Or like the website that I created for my plan. That's the first thing that I did. Remember that? So people made fun of me with my drawings and everything, but you can't say I didn't have a website or a campaign. I did. That's my point. All right. Now, and yeah, we need, what I'm saying is that, Chuck, is that, and I'll go through your comments. Joshua, agree. Let's see here. Dave King, Raiders. Bottom line is that the NFL does not care about the fans at all, just cares about the money. Dave King, it does appear that way at this point. I think the fans, the Raider fans, of all the fan groups that have been involved in this are the ones that you really don't want to mess with. I really believe the NFL is making an enormous mistake here, and the Raider fans are the giant X factor, okay? How strongly you respond, we need to get emails directly to the owners or to their PR people, or just tweet to them directly. How much that's done is the biggest X factor of all. It really is the biggest X factor of all. Because St. Louis, the fans were kind of like, meh. San Diego, the fans are kind of like, meh. But not Oakland. Not Oakland. And that is where you, the Raider fan, you, the sports fan, can make a difference. Not here. Now, let's see here. Austin Obrega does not like Mark Davis. Okay. Luciano Prometa. That's a cool name. Mark Davis, you can't buy support like this. We're 0-10. And when first game of the season, stadium still sold out. Yes. Victoria Simpson. Hi, Victoria. This is how you get Mark Davis back for leaving town. Do not show up to the first game next season and he will lose millions. Boycott. Dwight King. B of A is going to want something back too. Interest. Exactly. That's right. So this whole, mouth to feed jazz, I'm thinking, come on, that might sound good. You might be able to forcefully make your presentation. Well, they have a mouth to feed. You're yelling, right? So that you out-talk the other person. But when you run the numbers, it still winds up to be the same. That's why I pointed out to Mark the Adelson example. He had no comeback. He had no answer for that. He had no answer. Okay? So, now, let's see here. Money, Rocky Angel, money doesn't always say to choose the dick move option. Vegas. True. Austin Obrega, hashtag Forever Oakland. And I'll tag that out. Miguel Rose. Zinni, what can Mayor Libby do better in order to keep the Raiders in Oakland? She needs to release the plan now and not wait until Saturday. And Libby needs to be more aggressive than she's been. And Libby's got a plan. I've praised her for having a focus, but now she needs to up her game, okay? And the problem that we have in Oakland, and it's really one that, I'll just say it, it's one that scares me. And I'm really afraid that our city is on the cusp of changing into just something that's a bedroom community of San Francisco that matters to no one. Think about it. If we lose the Warriors to San Francisco, there will be no reason for the media to focus on Oakland at all, right? That'll be gone. And then if we lose the Raiders to Las Vegas, Oakland won't get mentioned at all. We'll just have the A's. We will lose 2/3 of our marketing base. Sports are our marketing base. So that Libby's not fighting as hard as she can. And I'm saying, quote, Libby's not fighting as hard as she can. She's fighting, but not as hard as she can, is the problem. And she's not calling, she's just now getting to a point where on this weekend she's going to have a speech and present the new plan. So the plan will be presented this weekend, but we need a leak now. We need a leak going into Thursday and Friday. We need a drawings leak. We need to mess it up. That's what we need to do. We need to create some excitement here, not wait until Saturday when the owners are already in Phoenix. So a lot of are already on their way to Phoenix, and we're getting this out seemingly at the 11th hour. That's not good. That's not good. And I can flood the media a ton. I can make a ton of videos if I want to, or just live stream is great. But I'm basically fighting against the whole corporate media, which I'm used to doing, by the way. But my point is that we need an effort, and I think having said that, I think the Oakland Raider fan coalitions and their effort to put these out in the newspapers is a great thing to do. That should change the game, and that's what we need. And Libby will say, I need the help. She does, but that's where a task force that I called for from the mayor 2 years ago would really come into play here. Because you need all hands on deck. We needed that some time ago. Fans and everybody else, not someone having their group here and there, but the mayor's office corralling and doing all of this, rather than trying to seem like keeping somewhat of a safe distance, but not entirely. That's not cool. That's my criticism. All right, now let's see. That's what Mayor Libby can do. Miguel Rose, Morales 2481. Zitty, do you think the owners will approve the Raiders to relocate? I still think it's 80-20. 80% no, 20% yeah, but I'm going to revise that to 70. Okay? But my point is this. If they go there, there is one giant unanswered question. And the giant unanswered question is this. How are the Raiders going to pay off that huge debt, which everyone, either people I talk to don't know about it, like Gannis, or if they know about it, don't have an answer. Now, Steve Sisolak, who I talked to earlier, put out this tweet saying that he had a meeting with the Raiders and that he's hopeful for a positive outcome on Monday. Well, that meeting with the Raiders was political cover because he was out there squawking. All right? He was out there squawking. And he was saying, hey, look, they haven't talked to us. I know some of the Raider people listen to my live stream here, and they talk to other people. So the Raiders did the smart thing. They had a meeting with Sisolak and gave him an update. He said he met with a Raider representative. I don't know who that is. It may very well be the Raiders general counsel. But regardless, it was a smart move. So now they've got Sisolak calmed down because someone has talked to him. All right? But he is just one commissioner. He is the one Clark County commissioner. That doesn't speak for Chris Gentiliani or anybody else. And not only that, we're in the middle of a Las Vegas City Council vote. Did you know that? Just saying. Now, let me continue. Stay in Oakland. Let's see here. Big Hateful. Let's just wait until Monday after the vote. If Vegas wins, then you Vegas cats can say, I told you so to all us pro-Oakland cats. But if the vote gets postponed, a shot gives Zinni, and I'm sorry, okay? No, that's okay. They don't, I mean, look. This is a long-term thing, and I appreciate that, Big Hateful, very much. But this is a long-term thing. If the owners approve a move to Vegas on Monday, I said it last night, I'll say it again. I will chuckle like this. Because of that huge debt. I mean, okay, let me, all right. Fred Walker, hello, how are you? Fred Walker, let's see, hold on a second. Fred, before I get to your question, let me get to Marcus Briscoe, Mr. Briscoe. Honest question, Z. Why would owners vote for Vegas? Okay, this is what I'm consistently told. And this comes from Gannis as well. It's not a matter of being pro-Vegas. It's a matter of they haven't seen anything from Oakland. It's always that line. They haven't seen anything from Oakland. All right? And yeah, there are a lot of people. This has not been handled well. All right, and the bottom line is, the mayor and the council members and the some people involved with the deal think that if they put out a plan or a rendition, then Davis will turn around and say, "Oh, I don't like that, and that's not what I want," and see they're tone deaf, not paying attention to me, as opposed to saying, "Hey, here's a plan. It shows we're ready to work with the Raiders, and we understand they want to have it changed." That's how you handle that. But this is an effort that has been governed by fear as opposed to aggression. I am an aggressive person. I believe in being aggressive. I do not believe in acting out of fear unless I fear that I'm going to lose. I hate losing. When I put in the Super Bowl effort, we lost and I didn't get over it for a year plus. I still haven't gotten over it. Because if I'm in something, I'm in it to win it. I'm not in it for win. I'm not in it for place or show. I'm in it to win it. All right? And that's how I expect others to be. So yeah, from that standpoint, I'm kind of, and also because I don't have control of it. I mean, let's be honest, because I'm not in charge. Yet I've been this route before. I feel like, okay, we could do this, and this better. And that's human nature. That's what you're hearing as well. And I admit that. Now, less about me, more to your questions. Fred Walker, hi. Why haven't Oakland... I answered that one. Corey Brown, hey, how are you? Victoria Simpson, boycott the first Raiders game in Oakland to prove a point. That would be huge proof. That would be something else. An empty stadium, or stadium maybe like 10,000 fans. Wow. Now, Orlando Westbrook, do you think Mark Davis will still try to go to Las Vegas even if he fails to get the necessary votes? I'm inclined to think not, because, again, this goes back to how bad the deal is structured right now. And if he doesn't get the votes, it will send a signal to a number of potential investors that, hey, you know what? He doesn't have the votes. It is an uphill battle, and maybe this isn't something we should be involved in, even to get involved in it and, try to get our cut at some point down the stream, right? But I don't think so. I think that the Raiders and Davis are smarter than that, and they'll work here to get a better deal here. They've got a good deal here, actually. Frankly, they've got an outstanding deal. So, there. Now, Golden State Raider, Legend of Zinni. Hey, thank you for moderating, sir. Now, Zinni, what's your prediction for Monday's vote? I am still predicting a postponement. Okay? I am still going to go with that. I'm going to go... Mark Gannis thinks the Vegas is, going to happen, but I've seen Mark's predictions in action before, and I know where they kind of go weak, and I know why he predicts the way he predicts. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a postponement. That's what I'm predicting. Now, that's my prediction. Now, again, if they decide for Vegas, I'm just going to go, there you go. Let's see here. For the Enclave, hello, Zinni, back again to check out the stream. Always love your streaks and the best. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Orlando, no, I think. Austin, okay. Paul Dog has a question. Do you think the owners are going to really look at the numbers, or are they just going to take Mark's word for it? Well, it's not so much Mark, it's the league. So it's not that they're going to walk in a room and Eric Grubman is not going to say anything. Eric's going to say something. There's going to be a lot of discussion. And that is where things can turn a lot of wild and weird different directions. As I am told, that the way I can confidently say to you, I think that there are 9 no votes, which means it would be rejected. You only need 9. And there's one very big owner, I don't want to say because it's all not for share, one very big owner that is now, who's said to be in, that is now out. Okay? So I expect something different than what the party line does. The party line is, okay, they're going to Vegas. Mine is they're going to postpone. And again, You've got to look at the deficit problems here. You just have to. I calculated the rate of return on the project at, get this, folks, negative 25.71%. That is bad. Okay? That's bad. Now, Darren Arata, didn't they say on Monday it won't be an Oakland versus Las Vegas thing? It'll just be Las Vegas discussed and possibly voted upon by its own merits. Will owners be any given any updates on Oakland? Oh no, they'll be given an Oakland presentation, but from the league's perspective. Okay, so the Raiders would get a chance to present their case, but the league will present basically Oakland's case, and that's where Oakland really has to have its ducks in a row. It really does. Now, Chuck Taylor, the evaluation of ticket sales is a lie. Not enough residents can afford to pay for seasons. That's true. And Todd Christensen, rest in peace, Todd Christensen passed away, the Raider tight end. Is it a good idea to use the name of a person who's passed away who's a Raider? Great. I personally have issues with that. Okay, but for the present, Zinni, I agree with the way it appears that Vegas just doesn't pencil. However, does the plan in Oakland pencil? There doesn't seem a lot of clarity on that. No, the Oakland plan does pencil. And it's a very good question, Todd, for this reason. Because, first of all, the infrastructure cost in the Oakland case includes land prep. All right? Whereas in Vegas, you have two costs. You've got on-site and off-site. In Oakland, we have no off-site cost with respect to the Raiders. There's none. Okay? In the point here, all right, that whereas Vegas has an on-site cost and an off-site cost. The on-site cost, they estimated at $375 million. The off-site costs, according to the Nevada Department of Transportation, are $900 million. So you're looking at $1,375 million in land prep and total transportation costs, some of which the Raiders have to pay. Now, the Raiders have to pay it all on the land, and they have to pay an adequate amount off-site. Now, I say adequate, that's what the law says. But again, I've said this last night, forgive me for repeating myself, but the Southern Nevada Regional Transportation Commission has said that they want the Raiders to pay for the entire cost. Now, let's see here. With Fred Walker with an NFL city, don't give public money, then threaten to leave. That's what you're looking at. That's like, and that's what Mark Gass was saying. Well, they've got to cough up more public money. And I said to Mark, look, we have already committed $350 million. Why do we need more? Why do we need to give more? Okay, look at Atlanta. Atlanta's done it with just $220 million in private money. Okay, so why do we need? $220 million in public money. Why do we need to put in more public money than we have when it's not absolutely necessary? And in this instance, it really isn't. Okay, maybe add $200 million here and there, but that's where your tax increment financing comes in. You could do that. But the bottom line is that would be just, gravy, extra. They're getting all of the land in the Coliseum, save for where the A's are, that 10-acre part, according to the term sheet. And so they can, with development, draw a lot of money from the buildings that will be built around the stadium. Okay? Now, Oakland, let's see here. Oakland does not need to deal with another Davis. Why a deal hasn't been struck yet. That's what Dave King says. Barry Lee, how are you doing, Barry? Zinni, I, for one, am glad you're going to be there at the meetings. Thank you, Barry. I am, too. Thank you. Now, let's see. Fred Walker, NFL wants free money. He's correct. Jeremy Figueroa, I don't know why there are a lot of Raider fans. They don't seem to even make the playoffs. Well, that's interesting you put it that way. I mean, Raiders are, you missed the live stream last night. Dr. Death put it very well. Raiders are a political group, or for some a religion. So it's more than just wins and losses for Raider fans. What's up? Sophia Palomar, how are you? Crawford 371. Sheldon Adelson can still pull a surprise and get Nevada to pull the subsidy, or something. Doug Smith. Will the league look at these numbers? Well, they have to. Gabriel B. Zinni. What if they did move, which they shouldn't? Couldn't they raise a price because they're doing so good right now? Well, they've already done that. Yes, they've already done that. Baha Ne Canels, how are you? Ian Rappaport just said on NFL Network the owners will be approving the move and charging the Raiders $300 million to $350 million relocation fee. He also said that they are going to name a site on the Strip also. So I checked with Eric Grubman on that. He said it didn't come from him. So I don't know. I'm still dubious about that. All right. I mean, again, that's kind of like, I don't know about that. All right. Now, when he said name a site on the Strip, what Ian means is that they're talking about Russell Road, unless they've identified some other kind of land that they haven't revealed. But I'll do some more checking because I know Russell Road is the only one that's near the Strip, and Ian doesn't know the techniques or the specifics of the deal. He only asks questions. So anyway, now let's see here. The owners will be able to go over Fortress Plan in 36 hours. Well, actually, the owners have been presented Fortress Plan in private meetings around the country. So that's not that is not something that hasn't occurred. There have been conversations between Fortress officials and the owners for some time. But in terms of official public rollout, that's a different story where you've seen it and I've seen it all and everybody else has. I've seen the details based on what the council has seen, Oakland City Council and the Alameda County Board of Supervisors. Now, let's see here. In Vegas, do they have 25 million people 4 hours away? Nope, they don't. So Las Vegas hasn't named a site, but somehow Ian Rappaport says it's the Strip. Airplane Blue is what he's talking about. He doesn't know the specifics. He's only telling what he was reported from a source. Okay, that could be Mark Benet. That could be the Raiders. Okay, and they may feel that they have the votes lined up, but there are others who feel that they don't. Okay, so again, this is, it's what Noam Chomsky called manufacturing consent. In fact, I'll write that down, okay? Noam Chom. NFL Network is Noam Chomsky's manufacturing consent. There, okay? Now, what legal action would the city of Oakland take in order to keep the Raiders if allowed to move? Lack of good faith dealing and bargaining. There are a number of causes of actions to make that stick. Let's see here. Hey, Octavio, I do Cypher. How often do you talk to Libby? Well, I communicate quite a bit. Frosty the Snowman, can you talk to Libby? I'm trying to. But she's open to it. She just, David Huerta. Could it be because Libby is more of an A's fan than she's a Raider fan? Well, her parents were season ticket holders for years. So I would think, no. I don't think that's it at all. I really believe that a large part of this has to do with the newness that she brings to the table handling these situations. And Baha Dakanos is right. She should have presented plans a long time ago. That's right. Tom Snyder says, let's be honest, Libby wants the A's, not the Raiders. That's, there's another side to that. It's not that Libby wants the A's. You have to remember the A's aren't asking for public money. And not only that, the A's, in terms of their president, they've been very nice to the political people here. Whereas the NFL owners have a history of acrimonious relationships with politicians. I mean, you can talk about Bud Adams and when he was had the Oilers and the mayor of Houston there, or you can point to Mike White in Cleveland, and in that situation, or you can point to Mark Modell in Baltimore. Okay, so the NFL has a history of owners that basically don't get what they want from a particular mayor at a particular time and then take their team and leave. Now, all right, so why is nobody close to her putting pressure on her to step up? I think there's a lot of pressure on Libby to step up. Victoria Simpson, I can't take this drama and stress. My beloved leaders can't leave us. Please pray. Prayer would be a good thing. I believe in Lord Jesus Christ. I think prayer would be a good thing. You know, now, will I be at the owners' meeting? Yes. Could you reach out to Larry Reed to get Libby to get moving forward with the renderings? I will do that. John Marks, I will call Oakland City Council tomorrow. Great jobs. Hey, by the way, folks, get a pencil or pen, or if you have your smartphone handy, type this down if you want to call the Oakland City Council. The number is 238-3266. Okay, and I'll write that down here. It's 510-238-3266. Here. Okay, hold on a second. So you're 510-238, okay, 3266. That's the number for the Oakland City Council right there. And when you call it, what you want to ask for is the office of Larry Reed. There, okay, and that's his support. You can, pledge your support and help him out. All right, there, right there. See that? Okay. Now, the mayor's office is this. This is the mayor's office. Now, this is the mayor's office. Okay. Here, the mayor's office is 510-238. And I believe that's 3041. Let me see. I think it's changed. Let me see here. Oakland Mayor's Office. Okay. Mayor's Office. All right. There. All right. And that is, let's see here. Yeah, 510-238-3141. How could I forget? I only worked there enough. 3141. That's right. So that's the mayor's office. That's 510-238-3141. But the number you really need to call is this number. All right? This is the number you need to call. Okay? And I'm writing it down right now. Okay? One moment. All right? This is the number you need to call. Let's see here. Let's see here. Getting a very special number. This is the number you really need to call. Coming up. All right? Now. Let's see here. All right. This is the number for, let's see here. I believe it works. Try this. 972-785-5000. And that is the number for the Dallas Cowboys. All right. This is the number for the Dallas Cowboys right here. All right? That's the number for the Dallas Cowboys. So call that and ask for Jerry Jones, okay? All right? Now, then the Oakland Raiders. This is the number for the Raiders. It's here, okay? Now, Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders are, let's see here. Make sure I get you the right number. Okay. Oakland Raiders. Let's see here. Yeah. 510 864 5000. The Raiders are 510 864 5000. That's 510 864 5000. Oakland Raiders ask for Mark Davis or Mark Verdane. 510 864 5000. And then you can say, hey, keep the Raiders in Oakland. All right. And yeah, there you go. Now, let me continue here. Let's see here. Oops. I think I missed some questions here. All right. Now, Zinni would look cool with an eye patch right now. Let's see here. How much revenue will the Raiders make in Las Vegas compared to Oakland? Do I know this? Yeah, it's negative. Basically, if you took away the Bank of America debt, the annual cash balance for the stadium was projected at $5 million. Okay, that's because it's not just the money you make; you have to pay that money in operations, and then debt. Debt was calculated for the stadium annually at $12 million, but that was before the whole Bank of America thing. So we're looking at now a negative. If you just have the Bank of America debt, you're looking at a negative cash balance for the stadium of a negative $152 million and a negative $644 million overall because of the off-site transportation costs I pointed to of $450 million. Okay, so that's how it lines up. The bottom line is it's a deficit. It points downward. Now, let's see here. I'm talking about stadium finances. Let's see here. Frosty Snowman, Zinni would look. Yeah, okay, I got that one. Yeah. Peter King was way off. He was way off in his calculations. And see how the party line works? You see how the party line works, folks? You've got everybody quoting one person, the party line. All right. Now, I've been very optimistic because the same exact thing happened here in Sacramento with the Kings, but my tone is changing. Oakland Raiders forever. 831 Scott. There was an article in the Mercury News saying that the same thing you have been saying. The numbers do not pencil out for Vegas. And I'm going to get to that. I'll talk to that right now. Okay? Let's see here. Oh, Airplane Blue says, please, Zinni, shake your head if they approve. Me like this? I'll just do this. How's that? Anyway, the bottom line is, let's see here. Roger Noel, who I've known for years, put out an article in Mercury News that really is worth repeating, okay? And I'm going to do that right now. Right now. Roger Noel. N-O, okay? And we can read it to you for those who haven't seen it yet, all right? News. And let's see here. Roger Stanford. Let's see here. There. Okay. And voila. Raiders Vegas plans flimsy, Stanford economist says. And Stanford sports economist Roger Noel questions, this is in the Mercury News of today, Stanford sports economist Roger Noel questions the validity of financial projections used to get $750 million in public money for a new stadium so the Raiders can move to Las Vegas. Roger Noel, Stanford economics professor emeritus, understands the inflamed passions of sports fans, but he warns emotions can cloud good financial decisions when it comes to moving the Raiders to Las Vegas. Noel rejects the financial projections Nevada lawmakers used to pass a bill to contribute $750 million to propose $1.9 billion, $2.3 billion, $2.3 billion NFL stadium next to the Strip. It's been a catenation of optimistic assumptions, he said. The probability that it could happen isn't zero, but it's pretty close to zero. Relying on economic forecasting studies, and this is where Noel is different from what I did. So he didn't say pretty much what I said. Let me get that in a sec. Let me get that out of the way. All right. Relying on economic forecasting studies, Nevada officials expect to draw 451,000 new visitors because of the 65,000 seat stadium. These tourists would spend an average of 3.2 nights per visit, leading to an additional $650 million in annual income to the area. He has $650,000. That's wrong, obviously. The public contribution would come through the sale of bonds to be repaid over 30 years by a hotel room tax Clark County began collecting this month. Every single thing they made an assumption on has no prior experience anywhere else, said Knoll, director of the Program in Regulatory Policy in the Stanford Institute for Economic Policy Research. In defense of it, well, this is different because this is Vegas, therefore it must be true. Anyway, you get the idea. That's I'm giving you a flavor for what he said, and it goes on, and so basically, and then Knoll says if there was no NFL allowed anywhere else, this might work. It's not exactly that they have a unique innovation to cause all these people to go to the desert, and he's right. I mean, that's not. You're not talking about people who are going to say, "Oh, gee, I'm going to go to Las Vegas to see a football game," when they can see a football game in their own NFL hometown, and that may be true even if their team goes to Las Vegas to play the Raiders because of the cost associated with hotel and airfare and transportation and lodging. I mean, excuse me, and eating. So there you go. All right. Now, okay. Oakland Raiders. Let's see here. I am not going to predict my nose. I'm not going to give them my names. I am not doing that. No way. Besides, it's a secret ballot anyway. So, let's see here. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember who I missed. Let's see here. Slew of Damascus. Raiders. Chieftain 023 says Raiders are pirates. There's no boats in Las Vegas. Chief Sutherland says Raiders are pirates. We need to be by a sea or dry up in the desert and lose your sea legs. Owners are trying to jump ship. Let's move the Dolphins to Salt Lake City while we're at it. Let's see. Octavio Arias. It's like when you present a proposal to a bank for a loan. The more you present, the more likely to get approved. We've been sleeping or showing on the plans. I agree with what you're saying there. You have to really hammer home your presentation. You have to do a road show. That's really what you've got to do. This is economic development. Look, we did that. I did that with the city of Oakland, Kofi Barn and myself, when we went to the International Council of Shopping Centers Spring Convention and sold Oakland to developers. We did that for 3 years. So I know how to do that. I know how to produce a road show. I would have loved to have produced the road show for the city of Oakland and the Alameda County on the matter of the Raiders Stadium, all right? But they didn't ask me. Anyway, so am I a little bitter about that? Yeah, I am. I'll be honest with you. I am. But, I'm helping out in other ways, like more PR with, doing this. This is my company. I'm doing it this way, right? But, this is different. And I'm not in charge here, and I'm not, well, you get the idea. There's a lot that I'm not. I'm doing this for my company, and I'm making noise, and I guess I'm volunteering, even though this makes money for me on my channel, but I'm volunteer, right? I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, and because I love Oakland, and I do, and I'm really concerned about the city's future without the Raiders. But I also, I hold this is a bad deal. Now, sorry, I'm trying to make it more of you and less of me. Bill McKinney, $350 million makes no sense when compared to LA costs. Owners don't owe Mark any favors. True. Junitus, if Greg Papa is pretty much throwing in the towel, I think it's pretty much done. His tweet was heartbreaking. Hey, Junitus, that wasn't Greg Papa. That's somebody with a parody Greg Papa account. Let me put that out there, okay? FYI, Greg Papa Twitter account is fake. Okay? That's a fake account. That is not his account. He only has what? 67 followers on his Twitter account, and he is the voice of the Raiders. Don't you think the voice of the Raiders, who operate their own Twitter account, would actually have a lot more followers than that? Don't you think the voice of the Raiders, with his own Twitter account, would have a more complete profile that mentions that he's associated with 95.7 the game? You see what I'm getting at? That's not his operational Twitter account. Just letting you know that, okay? Now, what's the main reason the league doesn't like the lock group? It has to do, right now, with the A's position. There's a lot that's been taken off the table, but it's not so much a matter of not liking the group as the A's politics and the whole public money issue, but also that Oakland, look, the bottom line is this. You got Mark Davis talking against Oakland. He's the team owner. That's the problem, okay? That's the problem. The team owner doesn't like the city. For whatever reason, the team owner has crafted in the team owner's mind that the team owner wants to be someplace else. Now, there are people who count a myriad number of personal reasons why Mark Davis does not want to be in Oakland anymore. But the way I look at it is this. He doesn't have to be the face of the Raiders. He can own the team and live anywhere in the world he wants to. Why does he have to burden fans with his own personal issues? And the answer to that question, I don't know. But it's his team to do with as he wants to, within reason, within the sphere of the National Football League. You can't just do anything you want to do. You're within a league. And that's why we had this vote coming up. All right? Now, there's your reason, okay? And let's see here. Now, and again, I don't dislike Mark Davis at all. I like Mark Davis a lot. I don't agree with his decision. I don't agree with the logic behind it because I don't think there is any real logic behind it. But I like Mark Davis. Now, let's see here. NFL, let's see. NFL official confirmed today the relocation fee is between $350 million and $500 million. I haven't gotten that. In fact, you know what? Eric Grubman did not confirm that. Did not confirm relocation fee. Okay? So, and he wrote that back in an email to me. That didn't come from him. So you say NFL official, it didn't come from him. Sorry. And he's the stadium point person, all right? Okay. Is Libby Schaff following directions from the NFL? Asked Crawford 371. Depending on who you talk to, she either is or has not. And I was under the impression that she was in lockstep with the league for a year. Then, when the whole Nevada legislature thing came and Adelson's money basically bought them the vote, all of a sudden things started going south. And at that time, at first, we had a deal where it looked like it was Egbert Perry with Ronnie Lott. Remember that? And then Mr. Perry issued a letter to the city of Oakland, the county of Alameda, offering $167 million to purchase the Coliseum land, seemingly without the knowledge or involvement of Ronnie Lott. So it looked like he was trying to go around Ronnie Lott. Okay? So basically it was Fortress to the rescue to save what looked like a bad situation. And they jumped in real quick. And I should also explain that Fortress was always involved with Egbert Perry, but Mr. Perry, for reasons best known to him, tried to make this deal on his own. And why he did that, I don't know. Now, let's see here. John Marks. Okay, sorry about that. Portland legalized weed. Portland Raiders said Chieftain 023. Steve Ballinger, you told us Las Vegas was not going to happen. I did. I feel like you got my hopes up despite what was obvious to me. Well, sorry. I mean, I still feel like Las Vegas is dead. I don't feel like it's a place to be. And again, and I'm going to say this one more time, or I'm going to say this a lot of times, okay? Mark Davis is not going to Shangri-La if he's allowed to go. And I say that because there's a lot of do you know what manufacturing consent means? It's using the media to manufacture an idea that something's going to happen, even if it doesn't happen. And so a lot of that is going on here. And so I'm resisting that. I'm saying, hey, look, I'm not certain this is going to happen. I still feel Vegas is awful for the Raiders. I feel that when they go there, they're going to wind up being evicted. The Raiders. The Raiders have $1 billion debt that has not been addressed. It's hypocritical for the NFL to say to Mark Davis, okay, well, now that you're not partnered with Sheldon Adelson, you can go to Vegas, only to turn around and be partnered with him anyway. That's what's got my head spinning. And, it's really, if you want to talk about manufacturing media consent to manufacture how you think, it's very awful that no one except me, and I'm going to raise this issue, I'm going to raise the issue. How can you let a scenario look like he, being Adelson, is going to be allowed to work with Davis? Because I said this to guys, he goes, we can work with anybody who wants to. Well, come on, Mark, you know what I mean. There's nothing but casino people. So basically, Davis is going to wind up in a situation that the NFL said they didn't want him in? You guys following this? Just saying, all right? Now, let's see here. Yeah, Corvette. That Greg Papa, that's a fake Twitter account. That's right. Thank you for the show. Thank you. Yeah, keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. That's all. Let's see here. Eric B says Las Vegas Raiders. I'll bet you Eric B doesn't know where to get a great hamburger in Vegas. Just saying. I know where to get a great pizza in Vegas. Anyway, but no, I'm not going to the games. I'm going to cover CES next year. Let's see here. Anthony Antonucci. Mods have an obligation to allow opposing views. John Marks were not Nazis. If they get disrespectful, then ops with their heads. Hey, moderators, can I say something? It's okay to be Nazis. Off with their heads. And I'll tell you why, okay? Because the person can always make another account. They're going to do that if they want to, be nasty anyway and come back. Let them. Because the more space you give to people who are inappropriate, the less attention people are appropriate get. And that's not right here. So, off with their heads. Like that. Block them! Anyway, now, let's see here. It's Pete Smith, it's doubtful the vote will be delayed as per today's meeting in Clark County. Okay. Sue of Damascus, why doesn't Libby let the voters decide if they want a reasonable subsidy? Put it for a vote. If we don't sweeten the pot, we're not keeping the Raiders, period. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But I think, doing that would have scared off the Raiders, period. And I like the way this was done. We did it in a way that was politically clean. We did it in a way, for the most part, we did it in a way that used an appropriate amount of public money. We did it in a way that was innovative and exciting, except that we haven't seen the drawings to get people's blood stirring, because this is economic development. I think Oakland officials have forgotten that we're doing economic development. And at the end of the day, you're building an edifice. And people want to see what it looks like. That's the thing, all right? Now, Buck Buddy says, pray to stay, pray to stay. Oakland Raiders headquarters. Yeah, Oakland Raiders, yeah. 15, oh yeah, by the way, something else. At 1220 Harbor Bay Parkway on Saturday, there's a party. Saturday. 1220 Harbor Bay, Alameda. Okay, Oakland Raiders party, all right? Oakland Raiders. Okay? There you go. Now, let's see here. Can we get Noel Giles' office number? Yeah, Crawford 371 Now, Oakland City Council is 510-238-3266. Okay, there. All right. Let's see. Oh, I don't have a smoke detector here. Anyway, Steve. Well, I do have a smoke detector. What am I saying? I don't hear a beep. Anyway, okay. Steve Macy. I get the feeling with the low relocation fee, rumored the league is just giving in to Davis to get out of their hair. Well, you don't know that fee is going to hold, okay? And you don't know that fee number is the right one. So, hold on, all right? Jerry Jones. There we go. Austin Nobriga. That's right. Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Oakland Raiders can definitely work in Sacramento, and that's not the issue corporate, all right? Steve Bouncer, you seem in a pretty good mood. Doesn't this get you depressed, especially all the time you spent on this saying this will never happen? No, I don't. I mean, I said before, you weren't here last night, I'll say it again, that, first of all, hey, it's a bad deal. You obviously haven't seen the numbers. I ran them. Based on the SNTIC numbers, it's a bad deal. If they go there, like I said this to Mark Gannis, and Mark Gannis said to me, he goes, okay, so they go and they're in debt, and they get evicted. He didn't disagree with me, okay? He did not disagree with me. He's sports consultant, Sports Corp, NFL special guest. Everybody agrees that Las Vegas is a bad deal and not a good situation. All right? Everybody. So if you're asking me why I'm so upbeat and happy, it's because I know it sucks. It totally sucks. And it could be so, okay, look. For all the protestations about, well, the Raiders will leave Oakland for the second time, they could be back for the second time. If that happens. Vegas is a bad deal. And Vegas, not only that, makes the NFL look bad. Because here, the NFL would have looked like it wasn't acting in good faith in terms of its message, where it says, we don't want to deal with gambling or Adelson, okay? And so there's no Adelson, and so Davis is now there, and he has to deal with all the gambling people who it just so happens have relationships with Sheldon Adelson, and so all roads lead back to Sheldon Adelson. Steve Sisolak put out a tweet today. He knows something. I think he's trying to engineer a deal where Adelson gets back in. I think he's setting it up so that Adelson can get what he wants. Or else. Like I said, Mark Davis is beginning to look a lot like Mo Green. Yeah. Now. But they do need to stay in Oakland. What about San Leandro, Richmond, Hayward? Okay. Oakland Raiders. There we go. Austin. The cause. Anything helps. It's like the butterfly effect in chaos theory. Where the butterfly flaps his wings and affects weather patterns around the other side of the world? Yeah. Everything helps. Does Livy ever check out your live streams, and do you ever let her know about them? Yeah, I do. Is anyone else scared shitless over this vote? I'm not scared shitless. Maybe because I've been here before, and I'm not scared shitless. And again, I know it's a bad deal. So there's a part of me, and I said it last night, and I'll repeat myself. There's like a large part of me that says, yeah, let them go, because it's going to be fun seeing them deal with it. It's going to be fun seeing, Lavala deal with the Raiders and how they handle governments. It's going to be like, it's going to be like, get your popcorn ready, okay? Because the Raiders, in terms of the organization, have a lot of improving to do regardless of where they go. The Raiders, because of the organization, have a lot of improving to do regardless of where they go. Oakland, stay. Vegas, go. They go to Vegas with their own bad business handlings that they've done here where they didn't get the greatest sponsorship deals, they didn't work with the tech community, and they're going to take that to Vegas, and they're going to take that in a situation where they're going to sit down in debt. Sit down in $1 billion of debt. Period. Because once they're there, the hands will be out. Grab, 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 grab. Vegas is about deals. It's about seeing what people can get from you. It's about a con game. There's that bad side of Vegas. There's that bad side of Vegas. So you want to be in that situation? You know what I say? Give it a try. I'll see you in 5 years. You know, we'll leave. I mean, if I were mayor, I'd leave the light on for him. Maybe this current mayor doesn't want to. Me, I'd leave the light on for him. But they'll be back. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, you say they won't be back because they'll be forced to sign the line relocation agreement. They haven't signed that thing yet, buddy. Now, hey, Zenny, is counting other events and who gets that money? Steve Macy, there's an event. I need to somehow. Hey, you know what? Let me scroll down here and get to your question and then ask you something else. All right. Let's see here, Steve. I think there are 18 no votes. I do. Where's number 8's Dave Cavall? Leave Dave alone. Dave's just fine. I think Dave is just fine. Raider Kuko. Hi, Zenny. I saw today where someone reported that an NFL owner said he would vote yes just to keep the pressure and yell leverage on Oakland. Do you think they would do this? Yeah. You mean yes or no? I mean, do you mean Raider Kuko? Do you mean no? I think what you mean is that they would vote no just to keep the pressure and leverage on Oakland. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, but where did you say that though? That's interesting. That's interesting. I like to read that. Dave King. Nobody cares about the fans at all. It does seem that way, doesn't it? You got to let them know otherwise. That's the sad part about this, because a lot of people base their livelihoods and their relationships on the Raiders being here in Oakland, and even people who don't live here, and that's the psychological part that bothers me. I think the league gets. They're really messing with people when they do that. Let's see. We have to speak it into reality. Raiders ain't going nowhere. Going back to Peter King's piece, there's no way Las Vegas will outgrow Los Angeles. Of course not. Is that what he said in his piece? Oh God, oh my goodness. Anyway. People look at growth rates today and they have no idea of topography and planning or anything. Golly. Yeah. What about the fans? Well, hey. Let's see here. Pete Smith. $59 billion came through Vegas last year from tourists. Okay, but what is the point? And, okay, that's fine. $59 billion came from tourists last year. So, what? 43 million tourists. So, what? What are you saying? Don't just throw out a number. Think through the relation from one number to the point. What are you saying? What are you saying? I mean, you're just like, 43 million, 59 million. So what? Whatever. Okay? Jacob P. Obviously, Oakland wants all teams, but if you had to choose one to keep, who would you choose and why? All of them. I want all 3 teams. No choice. So as far as I'm concerned, that question is no question. Oakland deserves to have all 3 teams. That's been our mark. That's been our thing. We're losing the thing that made us. Without our teams, we're nothing. I'm sorry. You know, we've got a symphony that barely plays here. We've got we have arts and culture that really goes suffering. It really does. Because the city doesn't put an adequate amount of money into it. Because it's expensive to live here. Because we've never quite gotten right how to run this city in the post-war age. Okay? The one thing that we had that made us whole and have right now are these 3 teams. Because and every time you read about the teams, you read about Oakland. Every time you hear about the teams, you hear about Oakland. Every time you read about the teams, you read about Oakland. This is about what? This is about Oakland. Oakland. But what bothers me, you have so many people here who are not proud of Oakland. And why psychologically that is, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. So if you want to say if there's one thing that makes me sad, it's that. The whole move thing doesn't make me sad because that's a bad deal. But how Oakland and Oaklanders are treated and treat themselves and don't regard their city as a whole, that's bothersome. Civic pride here is a weird thing. Let's see here. Now, but let's see here. Oh, yeah, people agree, right. And do I think the NFL is... Maybe the Raiders should just go to San Diego and meet with the Clippers. Meet up with the Clippers. Yeah, I remember... Yeah, John Marks. I remember the Rebels of Oakland. I do, yeah. That's right. That's what I fear. Without a team, we're basically Portland. You know? Complaining about the lack of diversity and no black folks, whereas we had a lot of diversity in black folks. And 15 years from now, I kind of feel like that's where we're headed. And I'm thinking, gee, do I want to stay in Oakland that's like that? You know, I'm not used to being in a place where I can go to one cafe or the other and I'm the only black person there. And that's happened a couple of times already here. We're changing, and I don't think it's for the good. And we haven't had a come to Jesus meeting about it. And Libby could do that. But she hasn't done that. And this is what I'm talking about, and this is why I pointedly say that. Because if Libby sees this live stream, she'll know and remember Oakland sharing the vision. Oakland sharing the vision was this event in 1990. 500 people came down to the Oakland Convention Center to talk about goals and objectives and select goals and objectives for Oakland. You know, that's how I met Libby and her parents, Phil Tagami, the late David Glover, who ran the Oakland Citizens Committee for Urban Renewal, many of the real estate people that I know around town, John Pertopappas. Oh, my goodness, just the names, you know. Joel, the chief of police then. It was beautiful. But we got together to talk about one thing, the future of Oakland. And no elected official has done that since. No one has brought Oakland together like that. And we need that at a time when the internet has divided us more than ever. It really is the internet more than anything. Now, sorry about that digression. Now, we'll go back to see where someone said gentrification. Yeah. Ask anybody what a San Rafael is, or a Vallejo or Napa. Well, maybe not Napa because they have wine. I like that one. Without the Raiders and Warriors, Oakland is just another Portland. Yeah. Well, I don't know if Portland, because what big city is around Portland other than Portland? But I see your point. Oakland is like Gotham City. We need Ronnie Lott to be our Dark Knight. I like that. Oakland is our Gotham City. We need Ronnie Lott to be our Dark Knight. That is, I'm going to tweet that out there. That's something I'm going to go to Twitter. I'm going to tweet that out there right now. Right now. That's got to be tweeted out there right now. Folks, if you're on Twitter, tweet that out. That is the tweet of the day. That is the tweet of the day. Let's see. Raiders. Hashtag NFL. Hashtag stay in Oakland. And we need to make stay in Oakland a Twitter trend hashtag, okay? Because right now it's not. Stay in Oakland. All right. And Lot. Let's see, Ronnie Lott Hall of Fame. There we go. Okay. Got it. I just tweeted that out. So if you see that, retweet it for me. It says, Oakland is like Gotham City. We need Ronnie Lott to be our Dark Knight. There we go. That's cool. That's cool. I like that one. Yeah. Now, what else? Is any Oakland season ticket holder for the last 20 years? Hate to see them leave, but starting to think not. Bad deal, new stadium, only pro show in town. I don't quite know what you mean there. That's a write that. You could write that a bit longer, but anyway. Okay. Baja Ne Canels. Have you heard anything about Oakland suing to keep the name, colors, and logo in Oakland for a future expansion team? I haven't heard it, but it's quite possible it could stick. Gentrification says LX9933. Miguel Rose. Without the Raiders, Oakland is just another city. That's right. OSAOB. And the team would become just another NFL team. Yep. Yeah, they would. It's like, phew. Let's see here. Personally, I see California as a renegade state in just the same way Oakland is. It is a state that doesn't do things the way the rest of the country does. Then why is it perfect for the Raiders? Because you said it. I'm sorry. Then why is it? Well, that's why. You're saying that's why it's perfect for the Raiders. You're right. California's renegade. Raiders are renegade. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So, what do I think happens on Monday? Approved or not? Anthony, I think it's going to get tabled myself. But again, and I've said this before, if they approve it, I'll laugh. It's a bad deal. So that's it. But, it's a bad deal. And not only that, again, if it gets approved, it's not over. Okay? I'm not talking about lawsuits or anything. The deal is so bad that something about this is just going to fall apart if it happens in that way. It just is that bad. It really is. So I see them tabling this so that the Raiders can work out their issues in Vegas if they can. Because they're talking about having option for the land, folks. They don't have an option for the land. They don't. Okay? I called today the agent that's handling that land purchase, the same that a friend of mine called. Now, for some reason, Boss Man doesn't want to be on here. Boss sometimes to be more than scared, because he could just put it out there. He's going to get mad that I said this, but I'm calling him out. Because I want him on for 15 minutes to tell people that he tried, he did tweet, he did explain that, but he called the guy to, that is over the sale of that land that the Raiders want. And he said, hey, look, basically, what are you talking about as far as an option? I can't talk about that, but how much are you paying for it? How much do you want to pay? So I called and I told the fellow today, hey, I represent a client that that wants to spend $90 million on the site. He called me back. He didn't leave a message, but he called me back. So where's the freaking option coming from? This guy's calling everybody back. Just saying. I'm just saying, okay? All right. Now, did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? All right. Let's see here. Jordy, I'm just fine. SF is Minneapolis. Anthony Antonucci, I feel that Vegas gets approved and collapses once and for all. John Madden needs to buy the team. No more Davises. Let's see here. Can the city sue to keep the Raider brand? The city can do that. I found the video on ESPN.com where they quoted an NFL owner saying he would vote yes for the Raiders to move to Las Vegas next week just to keep the pressure on Oakland. That doesn't make any sense. You vote for the Raiders to move to Las Vegas next week to keep the pressure on Oakland? That doesn't make any sense. Oakland's not going to go do anything if you give the Raiders the opportunity to leave. What you want to have happen is the owner would say, okay, I'm voting that you against relocation. Now the pressure's on Oakland to do something. So, I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, what you can't even tell me what owner said that. Unless somebody's just trying to get me to mention ESPN on my live stream. Boy, people are hungry for media attention, even the other media. What does Skip Bayless think about this? I don't care. I only care about what I think about this. Sorry, Miguel. I like Skip. Skip's a friend. I'm just being honest. Let's see. Because the owners are tired of dealing with this, they might just approve because of it. Whatever. Anthony, I don't think the owners are tired of dealing with this because the owners haven't had to deal with it much. They might be tired of dealing with Davis, but you're thinking they're going to wear him down, but not for a bad deal that And this was agreed to in my conversation today, that Mark would have to come back to the owners for a handout to deal with? Huh? Jeez. Okay. So what exactly happens if a vote doesn't go through? They are instructed to keep working with Oakland. That's what happens. Let's see. Zinster, what are your sources saying about the relocation? My sources are saying, first of all, that there's one major owner that was for this that is not anymore. My sources are also saying that one person I had counted 9 no votes. I compared it with a friend of mine who had a different set of 9 no votes, and we came up with to the 18. That's how I got to the 18, because we put our list together and we're like, whoa, that's 18. So there you go. Will anyone from Oakland Brass be present? No, they won't. They will not be. They should be, but they won't be. They were not allowed to be. But if I were, I'd just go anyway. Just hang out, restaurant someplace, be close by. But that's me. I'm going anyway. As media, I'm covering this. To which you have to watch my long live streams. They're going to be throughout the day. Okay. From the owners' meeting, throughout the day. Standing there, you'll be standing there with me. I'll be pointing. I'll be eating lunch with me. I'll be here and there. I'll interview. I'll do videos here and there, and I'll stop the video. I'll stop the live stream to do the video. Then I'll start up the live streams again. Okay, that'll be how I handle that. So, this feed is bouncing all over the place. Okay, so am I. That's because I'm bouncing all over the place. Because I'm animated. I'm excited. Now, if in 5 years Mark Davis defaults on the BMA loan and the Raiders are homeless, will he still own the team? You kind of got that reversed. It would be the Raiders that default. Mark Davis is a 20% owner. Henry Flores, I don't think that Al Davis would pursue Vegas. I don't either. Let's see here. There's a big time lag. Well, hey, if you're experiencing a lag, restart your computer, because that lag is generally associated with your RAM. Now, T.I. Howard, how are you? You're late. You're the biggest FU to his season ticket holders was Mark agreeing to play the Super Bowl champs in Mexico City, robbing those fans of a home game to see the Pats. Yeah, that's right. That is a big FU to season ticket holders, not be able to see the Patriots in Oakland. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I agree with you. Howard is right. T.I. Howard gets the point of the day. Let me go back and get that. T.I. Howard gets the point of the day award, for which at some point in the future there will be a real award. Point of the day. There. Point of the day. Yeah. Let's see here. What owners will you target to talk to before Monday's vote? Everybody. Everybody. Does Oakland need to buy out Fortress to get a deal done in Oakland? No. They can't anyway. Fortress is far too rich. Raiders are probably the 5th most popular just about everywhere but California. I don't know. The Raiders are very popular here too. I don't know what you're talking about. Seems like Las Vegas and the Raiders, Mark Davis, are betting it all on black and winning in Vegas. They're betting it on black, but they're going to be going to red in Vegas. If they go to Vegas. Howard is right. Preach, Howard. That's right. It's why don't they just keep Mount Davis, tear down the rest of the stadium? Well, you should look at my plan. Go to Google and type Oakland Coliseum Reboot. The website comes up number 1 in results, okay? Let's see here. He screws us out of home games last season, doing it again this year. Yep. Stream is good. Sit in with season tickets increase. Joseph Jones. Hey, Zinni, how are you doing? Just curious, love your vlogs. Just curious why you don't post more on Facebook. I've been in conversation with other fans who say they don't know what I'm saying. Because on Facebook, I'm not a partner on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have a partner program. And unless I had a partner, a way of having a cross-platform live stream, great. But I'm a YouTube partner. This has a significant impact on my revenue from Google. That's why I do it here. Not only that, I can take this live stream, it becomes a video, and import it. I can retweet it, which you can't do with Facebook. I can put it on Instagram as a reference with a link, which you can't do on Facebook easily. I can put it on Delicious. I can put it on I can put it anywhere as a content component forever. And Facebook Live makes it difficult to do that. So that's why, okay? Now, right. Let's see here. Don't be surprised if Mark Davis' plan gets rejected and he himself gets forced out as owner of the Raiders on Monday. Whoa! Die-uppy scum has prediction of the night. Hold on a second. I'm going to give the Die-uppy scum the prediction of a night, okay? Prediction. Prediction of the night. Right here. There you go. That was from Die-uppy scum, okay? That was prediction of the night that was Die-uppy scum. Die-uppy scum award. I think I misspelled Die-uppy scum, whatever. But anyway, you know what I mean. Everybody knows what I mean, okay? Let's see here. That was a good one. Yeah. That was a good one. Zenny, how is a Lynn Gone Wild? Zenny, how is it a bad deal? How is it's a bad deal equate to them not getting enough votes to leave? This is all that matters at the moment. No, that's not true. That's not true. What matters is where they're going. That's not true. Because, again, I said it last night. If they get the votes to leave, why do I have a feeling I know who that really is asking me that question? But anyway, if they get the votes to leave, all right, the question is, what kind of fiscal situation are they going into? It's like this, all right? Oh, I hate to use this analogy, but I will. It's like the Challenger, January 28th, 1986. We're all happy that, excuse me, my contact lens just slipped, okay? We were all happy that we had, I believe, Sally Ride and, not Sally Ride, it was the first teacher in space. We had a number of firsts on the Challenger mission, and then it blew up. So we were all happy for them, but think about it. What if, and a number of people did know, that Morton Thiokol's O-rings were such that they froze and in basically expanding caused an explosion, okay? And if I remember the physics correctly, but they didn't do anything about it. To me, this is like the Challenger, okay? So you're basically happy that Mark Davis is going on the Challenger. And I'm saying, hey, look, you're putting him on the Challenger. And that's why I'm saying, that deal is the Challenger of sports deals. I'll repeat it. That deal is the Challenger of sports deals. It just is. Okay? Let's see here. Carrillo, hey, Anthony, I don't know who you're talking about, but let's talk about that offline because there's something I want to tell you, all right? Just saying, okay? Now, in fact, it's worth a text, all right? Because I want to share something with you, all right? Now, okay, now, Sarah McAuliffe, yes, Sarah McAuliffe, thank you. Raider CL, do you know who will be speaking on behalf of Oakland before the vote Monday? Eric Grubman. Let's see here. Bling Gone Wild, I don't know what you're doing, but, okay. Oh, that's okay. Hey, Bling Gone Wild has to be blocked. He's blocked. Fine, whatever. Krista McAuliffe. That's right. So, okay. Now, Krista McAuliffe. Thank you. Krista McAuliffe. Yeah. But do you see what I'm talking about when I give the Challenger comparison? Hey, quick question. Does anybody want to see the revised or the updated number that I did with the rate of return on the Las Vegas deal so you can get a better idea? Because the spreadsheet's up. Just give me by a show of yeses, okay? If you want to see it right now, because I'll show it to you right now. You want to see the deal? Does anyone want to see what the Las Vegas deal looks like? Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 1,000 times yes. Different than last night. Or you mean the night before? It's updated. Yeah. Well, look, if Glenn Gondal is not on topic, just boot him, or I'll boot him. Okay. I'm happy. Like, cut him. Don't worry about it. Just cut him. If you're having a problem, cut him. Okay? All right. Got a bunch of yeses, and we're going for it. Blaine's gone wild. Can you behave? If you can't, you're cut. If you're cut already, sorry. Anyway, here we go. Yes. All right. Here we go. No, not the Oakland deal. This is Vegas. This is Vegas, okay? Here is the spreadsheet, because a lot of people haven't seen this, all right? This right here is the full spreadsheet. This is an upgrade. And what I did this time, all right, was, as you can see in the title, it says Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas NFL Stadium Proposal Spreadsheet with Bank of America loan, off-site transportation costs at $450 million, no additional debt, all right? Now, these numbers, as you can see, these are from the actual Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee model that was created by Jeremy Aguillo and Guy Hobbs last year. So these costs, like for example, construction costs, all right, here, that is $1,325,000,000, all right? Now, this is land infrastructure site costs, $375 million. Now, this is right here, off-site transportation infrastructure costs per SB1. All right. Now, what is this? SB1, Senate Bill 1 here, all right, says that the Raiders have to pay an adequate level of off-site transportation cost. The Nevada Department of Transportation has said this cost is $900 million. So an adequate amount is $450 million when you consider that one interchange costs $200 million to repair, and the Raiders will be, according to NDOT, responsible for 3 of them, and the Southern Nevada Regional Transportation Authority wants the Raiders to pay for 3 interchanges. That's obviously over and above this $450 million, right? Then we've got practice facility at $100 million, contingency at $100 million, for total project costs of $2,350,000,000. That's over the $1.9 billion because what? Because of this. Okay? That, right? Now, these funding sources are straight from the SNTIC document as well. Team investment, $500 million. Public investment, $750 million. Private investment, that was Sheldon Adelson's $650 million. Total funding sources, $1,900,000,000. That's $1,900,000,000. So, total net NFL stadium project revenue is this: negative $450 million, which is obviously, if we go up here, because of this, all right? Okay? All right? Now, okay? Negative $450 million there, okay? Okay? Right there. Negative $450 million because of this. All right? Now. Okay. This is the estimated stadium revenues from the SNTIC documents. It says note 4. Total annual event revenue. All right. That is 934,323,450 dollars. And where does that come from? That comes from the base annual revenue estimate of what is 31,144,115 times 30 years. Okay? That's total annual event revenue. Remember, that's the number of events. That's all those events they're expecting, right? Now, this is non-event revenue. Total annual non-event revenue is such things as, for example, naming rights, sponsorships, and luxury suites, all right? 309,632,820. Okay, so that, where does that come from? That comes from here, which is $10.3 million, $10,321,094 over a 30-year period. What's the total? The total is this. Total stadium revenue over a 30-year period, $1,243,956, right? So there is our estimated stadium operating expenses. That's from, all right, from the SNTIC docs, okay? And that's here. This is those expenses, those operating expenses are here. You would say, what is that? That's $646,119,390, right? Or, that's right, or $21,537,313 per year over a 30-year period, okay? That's the term of the lease. So there you go, right? Now, then you've got, let's scroll down a little bit, stadium net operating income from SNTIC Docs Note 4, and that's this. That's a calculation. That is simply, that's right, B25 minus B27, where B25 here is total stadium revenue, B27 is estimated stadium operating expenses, okay? And so it gets us this $597,836,880, right? Now, we scroll down and we get and this is where the Bank of America debt, this is the Bank of America debt. This is debt service plus Raiders development loan, okay? Now, the debt service, I took the debt service that was in the SNTIC estimate out just to see what the Bank of America loan would look like by itself, and that's this. $676,910,000, right? Now, capital expenditures for the stadium are here. That is $75 million. Now, where did I get that from? I got that from here. That is approximately $2,500,000. What's wrong with my eyesight today? That is right here. Yeah, there we go. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2.5 million over a 30-year period. 2.5 million annually over a 30-year period. Wow, I think you're just catching up to me. So that's $75 million over a 30-year period. That's what that is, all right? Now, that leads us to a total debt service and capital expenditure of, over a 30-year period, $751,910,000. So what does this equal in terms of our free stadium operating cash flow? It equals negative $1,073,120, okay? That's for the stadium operating cash flows. That's not including the project revenue, which is this, right? That doesn't include that. Then we consider the project revenue, we subtract that, right? We get $604,073,000 $1,120 negative, negative, negative. Okay? And that leads to a return on investment of a negative 25.71%. So there, folks, you are. That is that. All right. And there's the exercise. Okay. There's the exercise. So there's your master's class students. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. I don't have Oakland's numbers broken out like this, and that's another part of the lack of the plan being presented. I mean, well, that's not true. I can get those. I will get those. I'll get those tomorrow. Tomorrow, okay? And what does Fortress have to do to make the NFL take that offer seriously? I think they're doing it. It's a matter of they're doing it. It's a matter of constant communication and deal massaging. Al Davis was a very smart man. He made it to where his wife and son are in control of the Raiders. That's why Adelson has a problem, I think you mean. Yes. Miguel Rose, Jason, whatever. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. What questions did I make? I think the amount of debt is huge, and Davis isn't wealthy enough to cover it, but maybe by moving the team, he's able to sell and make a hefty profit. But the whole point is, we talked about this last night, and Bill McKinney made the point for me, and I thought it was an excellent point. If the team is allowed to, it loses money and is an eviction position, then with that kind of debt, it's devalued, and so it becomes a fire sale. It becomes like a foreclosure. So you can't ask him to pay off that way. He would have to. The team would have to file bankruptcy in order to avoid that. So, let's see here. You all are just so much not anything. Let's see here. I don't know what he's talking about in terms of a nut job, so I'll just block him. Gone. So anyway, yeah. I think he's deleted. He's out. Right. Deleted. I want him totally blocked. Right. So anyway, remove. I think he's removed. Yeah. So anyway, if someone's going to come on and call me an insult or something like that, that's kind of like, ridiculous. So anytime that people do that sort of thing, it's kind of like, whatever. They're gone. Okay. So now, we're clean. And moderators, I hope I set an example for you. Don't just talk to people. Just don't waste any time. Get rid of them. Now, okay, Frosty the Snowman, the Thorn from Mark Davis from Alderson is M.O. I don't know. Mo Green, that's right, Mo Green. Thank you, Mo Green. I ought to get permission from Paramount to use that scene from Mo Green, right? Maybe I'll try that. Stick around. Maybe I'll try that. Zinni Two Shoes, I like that. Yeah. Raiders have Super Bowl wins, no new stadium. Okay. Let's see, what am I missing here? We got a good turnout here. Zinni, Jason was talking very about that was to be needed because the deal was so bad. Oh, really? Okay. Because what he said, turd head or something like that. I mean, I apologize if I blocked Jason. Wow, I guess I have to go back and unblock him, huh? I didn't know that. Sometimes that's why, folks, how can we bring him back? Let me see here. I'll bring him back. He is unblocked. All right. He's unblocked, which means he's alive. I brought him back from the dead. Jason, you're back from the dead, but please be fucking behave, okay? Oh my gosh. You're unblocked. He's unblocked. All right. Let's see here. Has anybody from B of A acknowledged they are an investor? No. Mark Davis is Mo Green. Who is Michael Corleone? Okay, that's a question. Who would Michael Corleone be? Sheldon Adelson. Sheldon Adelson would be Michael Corleone. I know he's older, but you can imagine he's Michael Corleone. Actually, that's him. He would actually be more Vito Corleone. He'd be Vito. So there you go. Yeah. You know, maybe Michael Corleone would be Andy Aboud, the executive vice president for government affairs, right? Just saying. Okay. Yeah, in 3 minutes he rose again. He's back. I don't know. Okay. Let's see here. James McClendon, Mark Davis hasn't secured any financing with the B of A, nor does he have any land deals, so the NFL will vote no to relocation 31-2. I mean, yeah. 31-2? There's 32 NFL teams. You mean 30-2. I don't know who the 2 would be. But anyway. Oh, of course, Jerry Jones and Mark Davis. Right. Let's see here. Octavio, what about concerts, events, and surrounding development income? Oh, Octavio, that was in... let's see. That's a good question. Octavio, let me highlight that because that's a very good question. Q. And I'll say it. It was in spreadsheet. And let me show that just so I don't... Just let me go back to that, all right? So I can show you, Octavio. Just bear with me, folks, because Octavio has asks a good question that deserves a good answer. Okay, it's right here. Octavio, what I did here is, if you look over at its total annual event revenue, though, that's your concert. That's the whole controversial event category, right? The SNTIC had that, as per Mr. Aguilo, at, how come my cursor is not moving here? There it is. All right. Now, he had that at $31,144,115 a year, okay? Over a 30-year period, I extrapolated that out to $934,323,000. So the stadium still comes out because of its total annual revenue of $1.2 billion, you know, with that. But when you start taking away the net operating income, all right, and then there, and you get the $597 million, all right, and then you start taking out the debt, then you get into trouble, okay? Then you get into trouble. Then you get into trouble. And I will say again, then you get into trouble, all right? So, does that help? I hope that helps. So, yeah, that's how it looks out there. All right, now, let's see here. Zinni is on one tonight. So, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Zinni. How you doing, Dizzy Dean? Hey, Octavio, did that work for you? Did that work for you, Octavio? Yeah. Ticket sales. Yeah, Octavio, that's all. Oh, there's event revenue and non-event revenue. That includes the games. Okay? That's all wrapped in there. All right? So you've got event revenue, and then non-event revenue are the luxury suites and the sponsorships. That's how it was broken out. And not only that, in the spreadsheet, which I tweeted out, there's actually a reference to it. I'm trying to figure out a way to make it live online so you can go to it. But I also urge you to go to sntic.org, the website of the Southern Nevada Tourism Infrastructure Committee, and you can look at the appendix, which has the actual July 11th release study that has the numbers in it from Jeremy Aguilo. But I'll figure out another way to put these tables out there that people can see them better, all right? Now, let's see here. There is no surrounding development listed. In fact, that's a great question, because surrounding development, they took out the tax increment financing to pay for surrounding development. Majestic wanted that in because they wanted to be able to recoup the $150 million they planned to invest by developing around the stadium, but the tax increment provision was taken out, so Majestic no longer wanted to be a part of the deal. That's why you haven't heard Majestic back in the deal, really. Talking is one thing, but that's why they're not back in the deal. I'm giving you the nuts and bolts of the numbers here, which are unassailable. And I designed this so they'd be unassailable. So if someone wants to come up and assail them, take your best shot. If you want to talk to me, do it. Do it. Now, let's see here. Anthony Vargas, has anybody thought, let's see here. Roger Knowles, Stafford economics professor emeritus warns emotions could cloud good financial decisions when it comes to moving the Raiders to Las Vegas. Yes, Rick, 477, you're right. Dizzy Dean, just want to show my love and support for the Raiders from down under in Kingswood, South Australia. Welcome. Let's all welcome Dizzy Dean from Australia, from down under. Always been a Raiders and Athletics fan. Know how much the team means to that city. Welcome him. He's from Australia. Let's welcome. Let's see. Welcome. Give a big welcome. Dizzy Dean to Zenny 62 live stream. Always gotta welcome a great Aussie, okay? Always gotta welcome a great Aussie. Thank you. You got it. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Hey, I got one question for you, Dizzy Dean. Have you ever heard of Michelle Janicki? You know what I'm talking about? She's the hot track star that made her name doing that wiggle thing. Anyway, just asking. So, Zenny Zen's just a totally rad. Hey, Zen, look, that looks like my Raider t-shirt I'm wearing. I am wearing, not your Raider t-shirt. This is my Raider t-shirt. This is my Raider t-shirt, man. Yeah, that's right. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be a great idea for Fortress to release Winries in Oakland Stadium? Ding. Yes. Ryan Huckabee, are you an Oakland native? Yes. Let's see here. Has Anthony Vargas, has anybody thought that the NFL might actually want Mark Vegas to fail, so eventually he would have no choice but to sell the shares? That's been talked about, but see, here's where the rub, the problems of the gets in, okay? Because Mark Davis is 20% of the Raiders. If the Raiders crash, it's not just him, but everybody else. So it'd be a wholesale fire sale. Now, the NFL has given Davis the last option on seemingly everything between him, Kroenke, who was the money, and Spanos. They still hold a grudge against him for what his daddy did in the past. No, I have heard that before. I think it's unfair, but I've heard that before. Okay. Let's see here. It's kind of like, that almost sounds like a Godfather, doesn't it? You know, we'll get your son. Or the reverse is like Godfather 2, where the town chieftain said in Italian, if I don't get him now, then when he grows up, he'll be strong. He will be strong. He'll kill me, right? And that's what happened. You're talking about Michael Corleone. That's what happened. Interesting. Gene Winston, there's not a lot of room for surrounding development at Vegas site. There isn't. They have to get government to do some eminent domain thing. Miguel Rose, the Raiders need to stay in Oakland in order to avoid getting in debt. Yes. Did you see Jason Lockenforth said they don't know what it was about? Yes, even though it's a bad Vegas deal. Yeah, see, AR Full in Music, he's saying the same thing that Mark Gannis said. So there's a party line here that's being, communicated, and that happens in these situations. That happened with Carson. There was a party line that Bob Iger and the Disney brand were going to bring the San Diego Chargers and the Oakland Raiders to Carson, and of course that didn't happen. But I remember being at the owners' meeting in Houston, and that was the talk. And you thought, okay, he's got the votes for Carson, and then it shifted, and he didn't. So, you can post your spreadsheet on Twitter and pin it to the top of your page. Hey, that's a great idea. That is a very good idea. I'll do that. I'll do that right after I'm done with this. In fact, I'll stop at 11:30 because I'm a little tired and I need to eat. Let's see here. But wait a minute. Dizzy, did you answer my question? Do I know Roberto Duran? No. Can you get me a Roberto Duran? Sacramento would be a great option. Dizzy, did you answer my question about Michelle Janicki? I'm just asking. I didn't see that. Dizzy Dean? Is any calling Dizzy Dean? Dizzy Dean, are you on? Dizzy Dean, are you there? Dizzy Dean? Dizzy Dean, are you there? Let's see here. I guess Dizzy Dean left. Okay. Sorry, Dizzy Dean. Oh well. Henry Flores, the Raiders are not just international. They are extraterrestrial. Astronaut Jose Hernandez put up the Raider flag in the space station. Yeah, he sure did. I like that. There's some great quotes here. Frosty the Snowman. Dizzy, come to the black hole this year. That's right. Bring Michelle Janicki with you. Mig Moji, hey, how you doing? Crawford 371, fan groups need to post the spreadsheet. You to post this all the important emails and Twitter handles. That's true. Okay. And I'll do that. Why would they consider lowering the relocation fee to Vegas? I don't trust that number. All right? And Eric didn't confirm it. I emailed him. He had a chance to say, yeah, that's about right. He didn't. He said it didn't come from me. He's not hanging himself to that number. So there. I'm happy with that. So yeah, Soul Train. That's right. You can bet your last money this has all been a stone gas honey. Yes, and I'm Zen Abraham. I am not Don Cornelius. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about. That's right. Honest question, do you believe Libby favors the A's over the Raiders? No. I think what she favors with respect, but I think that, thicker skins should prevail here. And while the Raiders have not treated her, properly, and the NFL needs a better government affairs system, there's a lot to be said for just simply plowing through and getting what you want, regardless of how the person treats you. Just have, blinders. Be that salesperson. It's like, screw it. I'm getting what I want. I'm gonna get it. I want to figure out some kind of way to get it. Anyway, Zinni, can you shed some more light on the Vegas stadium naming rights protection? $25 million is not a naming rights deal. I'm sorry. $25 million, and anybody who would write that a naming rights deal is $25 million got it wrong. I don't think that he meant that. So no comment there, because I'm not going to say something that's. Hey, by the way, no. I'm not going to manufacture consent by agreeing on all this. I'm now firmly convinced these jackers are wrong. I'm sorry. It's kind of like you feel like you're being hypnotized. Like, ooh, think this, ooh, think this, ooh, think this. And so you have to, it's like a Jedi mind trick, right? So you have to say, oh, Jedi Jedi mind trick, right? And just do that. It's like, oh, Jedi mind trick. You forget it, You can take your own lightsaber and go zzz with data, like spreadsheets. Just saying. All right. So, now, where are we? Let's see here. Other questions. I don't see any other questions. 88 are watching now. Let's see. Looks like the numbers are dwindling. I think I'm going to stop at 11:30 and eat. Okay. So it's 11:27, which technically means it's 11:28. And I want to thank everybody. God, it went from 84 to 87 watching now. Wow. Just when I want to go out, they come back in. Oh my God. Let's see here. Yeah, but I think it's necessary for me. King owner, I don't know what that means. They are not the. John Mark says these are not the droids we want. Yes. Oh, it's not out of control. I'll bring it back into control. That's why you have moderators, all right? Yeah, journalism is dead. You're right. It's journalism is dead. That's it. I'm trying to keep it going, and I'm not even a journalist. I'm a blogger. Our AR full of music. How much would NFL owners lose in ad revenue by moving down to market 40? Good question. I'll calculate that. Gurpreet, hey Zinni, I wasn't sure if you already answered, but what were your thoughts on? I didn't read them. Let's see here. Wait for it. I'm just now joining tonight. However, thank you for the information you share. You're welcome. Anthony Vargas, you're correct, sir, with your analogy, sir. All those familiar commercials the NFL tries to portray as a facade. The NFL is a very mafia-esque, trying to bully cities into footing new stadium bills. Yeah. I hope you present that information about the finances of the owners' meeting. I won't, unless they ask me to present. I want everybody to spread this around, and I'll put the spreadsheet up as you suggest. So anyway, look, it's 11:28. I got 1 more minute roughly. Will they ever even have the vote if they don't have enough yays? Yeah. All you need are 9 no's. Okay. The 4 horsemen of the Zensters. James McClinton. So as Jason Locke's former statement about the Raiders has the vote, so they need it unfounded. I think it's premature. Okay? You don't know what's going to happen in there. Again, I've heard it before, and you don't know. And I know that, these guys work for editors who pressured them to give them a final answer. Yeah, do this. They don't have the luxury that I have of saying, well, Okay, hey, you know, all right. Now, have the Raiders signed a lease for Oakland in 2017? Yes. It's actually a 3-year lease with some options. It's kind of a strange deal. But yeah. I understand that a few years ago, the Raiders burned their bridge with Sacramento. Oh, interesting. Let's see. They're saying they have the vote because they have enough yays. Yeah, but they haven't had the meeting yet. You think you have enough yays, and you have to remember something. You're communicating something you hear in the media, all right? It's called manufacturing consent, all right? You're being controlled. Your mind is being controlled. Get critical thinking. Stop telling me what they say and start telling them, hey, Zinni says the opposite thing. Mention my name a lot. Mention my name to Jason Cole and ask Jason, hey, what do you think of Zinni's ideas? But please don't, just put my name Zinni. You don't necessarily have to tag me, all right? Just put Zinni. Do the same thing with Jason Lockwood 4. I know you guys don't do it. Actually, you know what? Do tag me. This is my Twitter handle. At Zinni62. That's, oops. On Twitter. Okay? That's my Twitter handle. Zinni62 on Twitter, all right? And so, basically, follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, and then ask Jason and Jason Locken4 and Jason Cole and Ian Rappaport what they think of me. Tag me and say, what do you think of Zinni's numbers, all right? Ask them. In fact, do it now. Please, go. Do it now. You can multitask. Do it now, right? Okay. Let's see. Can Oakland kick the Raiders out of their release if Vegas gets approved? Yes. The land in the Arco Arena would be perfect, right? It's 11:31, folks, and I am exhausted. I'm going to eat. Thank you all very much. Thank you all watching. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow. Thursday. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Getting closer. Getting closer. Getting closer. Bye, everybody. Good night, everybody. I'll say good night. Good night. Good night, all. See you Thursday night. I'm going to start early at 8 p.m. Okay, good night, everybody. Good night, David King. Good night, everybody. I'm going to bed. Well, I'm going to eat first. Good night. Good night. Eat a Jack's Munchies meal combo. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night, Zinsters. Good night, Zinnerators. Thank you. Thank you all. The 4 horsemen of the Zinni apocalypse. I like that. Good night, everybody. I'll see you. Good night. I'll see you. Thank you. Oh, and I'll do that spreadsheet thing on Twitter right now. Thank you.